Look, we've all been there. You're sitting at a red light, twist the throttle just a hair, and for a split second, you feel like a god. But then reality hits. Speed limits, noise ordinances, that one neighbor who calls the cops if your exhaust coughs. Most bikes are built for the average rider. Safe, predictable, boring. But today, we're throwing average out the window. These are the machines manufacturers built when they stopped caring about safety ratings and started caring about pure, physics-defying speed. 20 motorcycles so fast, so loud, and so unhinged that putting a license plate on them was either impossible or a legal miracle. If you're a fan of high-octane chaos and bikes that treat riders like an optional accessory, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Number 20. Honda RC213V-S. Let's start with a bike that proves Honda has a sense of humor, the RC213V-S. Honda basically took their MotoGP championship winner and said, let's sell it to the public. But there was a catch. To make it street legal in the US, they choked it down to a measly 101 horsepower. You'd get gapped by a teenager on a 600cc at a stoplight. It was embarrassing. But if you handed Honda another $12,000 for the race kit, the bike transformed. It lost mirrors, the lights, and its dignity. It jumped to 215 horsepower and dropped to a featherweight 160 kilograms. Suddenly you weren't riding a street bike, you were riding Marc Marquez's Saturday afternoon office. It's a precision tool that is so sharp it'll cut you if you even look at the throttle wrong. It's the ultimate sleeper, provided you have the race kit and a closed track. Number 19. Suitor MMX 500. If you think two-strokes died in the 90s, the Suitor MMX 500 would like to have a word with you out in the parking lot. This is a 576cc V4 two-stroke that sounds like a chainsaw having a midlife crisis. It produces 195 horsepower and weighs only 127 kilograms. To put that in perspective, it has more power than a modern superbike, but weighs less than a heavy person. There's no traction control, there's no ABS, there is only you, your courage, and a power band that hits like a sledgehammer at 13,000 RPM. It's a love letter to the era of 500cc GP racing, where riders were basically just crash test dummies in better-looking leather. It's beautiful, it's blue, and it'll absolutely end you if you disrespect it. Number 18. MTT 420RR. Most bikes use pistons. The MTT 420RR uses a Rolls-Royce Allison gas turbine engine. Yes, a helicopter engine. This isn't a motorcycle, it's a land-bound jet. It produces 420 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. It doesn't rev, it spools up like it's preparing for takeoff. The heat coming off the exhaust is so intense that there are literal stories of it melting the plastic bumpers of cars sitting too close at stoplights. It's long, it's heavy, and it has the turning radius of an aircraft carrier. But in a straight line, claim top speeds north of 250 miles per hour, over 400 kilometers per hour. It's proof that if you strap a big enough engine to anything, the laws of physics eventually just give up and go home. Number 17. Aprilia Tuono V4X. Aprilia's Tuono is already the king of why is this legal naked bikes. But then the racing department got bored and created the V4X. They stripped away the headlights, swapped the bodywork for carbon fiber, and tuned the V4 to pump out 221 horsepower. They even used the integrated winglets from their MotoGP bikes. The result is a naked bike that is faster than most superbikes on the planet. It's basically a bar fighter who also happens to be an Olympic sprinter. It's light, it's loud, and because it has no mirrors or signals, it's officially too fast for the grocery run. It's a bike designed for one thing, making your eyeballs flat against your skull. Number 16. Kawasaki Z1R TC. Let's go back to 1978. Kawasaki decided to do something that would make a modern lawyer faint. They took a Z1R, slapped a massive turbocharger on it, and sold it through their dealerships. No fuel injection, no wastegate, just raw, unadulterated boost. It was nicknamed the suicide machine for a reason. You'd be cruising along, and then the turbo would wake up. The power didn't come on smooth. It arrived like a brick through a window. The frame would flex, the tires would scream, and you'd be praying to whatever god you believed in. It was way too fast for the brakes and tires of the 70s, making it a legendary forbidden machine that most people were too scared to actually ride. Number 15. BMW HP4 Race. We've seen BMWs on the road, but the HP4 Race is a different species. This bike hates metal. The frame, carbon fiber. The wheels, carbon fiber. Even the fairings are carbon. Because of this, it weighs just 146 kilograms dry. It has more electronic sensors than a SpaceX rocket. It can tell if your rear tire is spinning 1% faster than it should and adjust the power in milliseconds. But here's the kicker. The engine is so high-strung that BMW says you have to replace the entire motor every 5,000 kilometers. It's a track-only mistress that demands you be a pro-level rider just to understand what it's saying to you. It's too expensive to drop and too fast to ever enjoy on a public street. Number 14. Bimota Tessie H2. What happens when you take the world's most powerful production engine and give it to a bunch of crazy Italians? You get the Bimota Tessie H2. It uses the supercharged engine from the Kawasaki H2, but it tosses the forks in the trash and uses hub center steering. When you brake, the front end doesn't dive, it just stays flat, like it's mocking you. It looks like a mechanical insect from a nightmare and has enough power to warp time. With over 230 horsepower and a chassis that handles unlike anything else on two wheels, it's a sensory overload. It's too weird for the masses and way too fast for anyone without a death wish. Number 13. Ducati Supermono. In the early 90s, Ducati wanted to dominate single-cylinder racing, so they built the Supermono. It's a one-cylinder bike, but it has a dummy connecting rod to cancel out vibrations, allowing it to rev to the moon. It only produces about 75 horsepower, but it weighs only 118 kilograms. It's the ultimate momentum bike. It's so rare and so focused that seeing one on the street is like seeing a unicorn in a Walmart parking lot. It's a masterpiece of engineering that proved you don't need 4 cylinders to be terrifyingly fast through a corner. Number 12. Vins 250. Imagine F1 engineers got drunk and decided to build a 250cc two-stroke. That's the Vins 250. It's all carbon fiber, the frame, the forks, the swing arm, everything. It weighs less than 100 kilograms. That's lighter than some electric scooters. Because it's so light, the 75 horsepower feels like 175. The radiator is actually mounted in the tail of the bike to keep the front end as aerodynamic as possible. It's a surgical scalpel in a world of sledgehammers. It's too expensive to be a toy and too fragile to be a daily, making it a purebred track unicorn that sounds like a swarm of angry bees. Number 11. Confederate P-51 Combat Fighter. If the Terminator rode a motorcycle, this would be it. The P-51 Combat Fighter, built by the company formerly known as Confederate, looks like it was carved out of a solid block of aluminum, because it was. It has a massive V-twin engine that produces 145 horsepower and enough torque to pull a stump out of the ground. It doesn't have a frame in the traditional sense. The engine is the frame. It's aggressive, it's loud, and it looks like it wants to punch you in the face. It's a boutique bike, meaning it's built for celebrities and oil tycoons who want to look tough while doing 160 miles per hour. On the road, it's a vibrating, roaring piece of industrial art that's completely unnecessary and totally awesome. All right, if you think the first 10 were excessive, buckle up. Because from here on out, these bikes stop pretending to be motorcycles and start acting like engineering experiments that escape the lab. Number 10. Honda NR750. In 1992, Honda decided to flex on the entire world.
They built the NR750. It had oval pistons, not round, oval. This allowed for 8 valves per cylinder, essentially making a V4 act like a V8. It was the most expensive bike in the world at the time. But here's the thing, it was a nightmare. It was heavy, it ran hot enough to cook a steak, and if you dropped it, the repair bill would cost more than a house. It was a technical marvel that was too smart for its own good. Honda only made 300 of them, and most are now sitting in air-conditioned rooms because they're simply too valuable and too temperamental to actually ride.
Number 9. Lotus C01. Lotus is famous for cars, but they put their name on this sci-fi beast back in 2014. It looks like something from the movie Tron if the director had a fetish for carbon fiber. Underneath that shell is a 1,195cc V-twin producing 200 horsepower. It has a massive wheelbase, meaning it handles like a shopping mall elevator in a tight turn. But in a straight line, it's a missile. Only 100 were made, and since they lack any real road-going safety features or comfort, they stay tucked away in private collections. It's a bike that exists just to prove that humans can make anything look cool if they try hard enough.
Number 8. NCR M16. Take a Ducati Desmo Sedici RR, which is already a MotoGP bike for the street, and then give it to NCR. They replace every bolt with titanium and every fairing with carbon. The result is the NCR M16. It produces 200 horsepower at the wheel and weighs only 145 kilograms. It's essentially a MotoGP bike that's been put on a diet and given a shot of espresso. It costs over $160,000, making it one of the most expensive ways to scare yourself silly. It's so light that the wind from a passing truck could probably blow you into the next lane.
Number 7. Ronin 47. When Harley-Davidson killed off the Buell brand, a group of engineers bought 47 leftover Buell 1125R chassis and built the Ronin. It looks like a steampunk fantasy. It has a massive cast aluminum girder fork and a radiator mounted right in the front like a shield. It's raw, it's mechanical, and it's fast as hell. Because it's based on the 1125R, it has that punchy, aggressive V-twin character that Buell was famous for. It's a bike built from the ashes of a failed company, and it's way too weird and way too aggressive for the average street rider. It's a collector's dream and a traffic cop's nightmare. Number 6. Aston Martin AMB 001 Pro. When Aston Martin teams up with Brough Superior, you know it's going to be posh and fast. The AMB 001 Pro is a track-only beast that uses a turbocharger to push its V-twin to 225 horsepower. It has no mirrors, no lights, and no regard for your bank account. It's designed to look like an Aston Martin supercar on 2 wheels. The aerodynamics are so extreme that it has fins to keep the front end down at high speeds. Riding this on the street would be like wearing a tuxedo to a mud wrestling match. It's just the wrong tool for the job.
Number 5. Lightning LS218. The name 218 comes from its top speed, 218 miles per hour. This is an electric bike that makes a Hayabusa look like it's standing still. It has 200 horsepower and 168 pound-feet of torque, available the literal millisecond you touch the grip. There were no gears, no clutch, just a silent, terrifying surge of speed that feels like being pulled by a giant rubber band into the future. While there is a street version, the full factory race spec is a different animal. It's the future of speed, and honestly, it's scary quiet. You don't hear it coming, you just see a blur and hear a faint whine as it disappears over the horizon. Number 4. Arch Method 143. This is Keanu Reeves' bike company, and the Method 143 is their concept made real. It features a carbon fiber monocell chassis and a massive 2300cc V-twin engine. It looks like something from the year 2077. It's built with an obsession for detail that borders on insane. It's too expensive to be a daily rider and too powerful to be used to its full potential anywhere that a dry lake bed. It's a rolling piece of Hollywood engineering,
that proves Keanu has very, very expensive taste in speed. Number 3. Suzuki Stratosphere. Back in the mid-2000s, Suzuki showed off the Stratosphere. It was a concept bike with an 1100cc inline-6 engine, not a 4, a 6. It was designed to be the ultimate smooth, high-speed grand tourer. It looked like a retro futuristic blade and sounded like a Formula One car from the 90s. Suzuki never put it into full production because it was too complex, too expensive, and let's be honest, probably too fast for the average person to handle. It remains one of the great what-ifs of the motorcycle world.
Number 2. Kawasaki Ninja H2R, the 400km/h legend. We can't have this list without the king, the H2R. 326 horsepower, supercharged. It doesn't have a headlight, it has carbon fiber wings. In 2016, a rider took this bike to a bridge in Turkey and hit 400 kilometers per hour, that's 249 miles per hour, in just 26 seconds. It's so loud that most tracks in Europe have actually banned it for breaking noise ordinances. Imagine building a bike so extreme that even the racetracks tell you to go home. It is the ultimate middle finger to the status quo. It's a bike that exists purely to show the world what happens when engineers are allowed to go completely mad.
Number 1 is the Britain V1000. Number 1 isn't a factory bike. It was built in a garage in New Zealand by a guy named John Britton. In the early 90s, this home-built bike went to Daytona and embarrassed the massive factory teams from Ducati and Honda. It had a carbon fiber chassis, a home-built V-twin engine, and a design that was 20 years ahead of its time. He cast engine parts in his wife's pottery kiln and built the suspension from scratch. It used the engine as a stressed member of the frame long before it was cool. It was so fast and so revolutionary that it remains the most legendary forbidden bike in history. Only 10 exist. It's the ultimate proof that the fastest things on the road don't come from a boardroom. They come from a visionary with a wrench and a dream. So there you have it. 20 more bikes that prove we live in a world where too much speed is never enough. Which one of these is a legitimate masterpiece, and which one is just a death wish with handlebars? I'm going with the Britain. Drop your pick in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of forbidden speed, smash that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't yet, join the crew and subscribe to Tech Motor Show. We've got more motorcycle mayhem, tech breakdowns, and stories from the edge of the speed limit coming your way every week. Stay fast, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.